still look like shit in this lighting. And this chair is too tall. Hey guys, what's going on? So after that sequence, you know, I just wanted to show off my shorts. That's it. There's no point to that sequence other than that. I got some new shoes. I've been had these shoes for like 3 months now, but like I haven't worn them for the sole purpose that I wanted to take a photo of them. And obviously if you wear the shoes, they get dirty. So it's always better to have them brand new. So I took like maybe 3 hours to set this up. It was a long day to set this up, and I ran out of light stands. And whenever you do a project like this, it's always good because then you get to see what equipment you don't have on hand, and that way you can, you know, start to pre-order equipment before you actually get a job of this size. So as simple as this shot looks, it's actually a 4-light setup. After your main light and your background light, your other lights are kind of just adding a lot of accentuating details to it and kind of like making accentuating the shape of the shoe. Accentuating the shape of the shoe. There are some things that I don't have on hand which I need to order still for photography equipment, such as grids for my hard strobes. And honestly, I just need I need way more light stands and grip equipment. That ran out really quick, and then like I was like, all right, I gotta kind of like rig something up. So that's kind of, if something looks janky, it's because it is janky. We're gonna start off with the main light, which is a Godox DP600 with a standard reflector on it, shooting through a Savage medium translucent diffusion paper. I believe it's medium. Another light down here, it's an 8200 with another standard reflector shooting up into the shoe. The reason we have that there is because my camera is a little bit, and it's angled a little bit lower. So the camera is actually angled like this, meaning we need to get some light at the bottom of the shoe. That's what that strobe is doing. And then we have our third light here, which is, honestly, it's more just for the toe, for that toe box, because it got pretty dark in the image without it. So it's bare bulb. It's honestly it's only bare bulb because I don't have another reflector. If I had another reflector, I'd put another standard reflector on there with a grid. And that way it's more directional and not just spilling light everywhere, which is why we have that flag in the back to prevent it from spilling onto the backdrop. And that brings us to our final light, which is a speed light, and just shooting into an umbrella just to get a bigger spread. And that's obviously shooting into the background. So that's going to provide us with a gradient of light. So yeah, that's the setup. That's literally what makes this whole image that you're seeing on your screen right now. And that's straight out of camera, no edits. And that is honestly, it's always better and ideal to get the image as close as possible to what you're envisioning in camera to minimize the post editing. There's always going to be post editing. Nothing's ever 100%. And in post, you can always you kind of change your mind sometimes in post as you're editing. I always like to say your pre-production is kind of the game plan. Production is kind of how things goes. Maybe you don't have enough light stands in my case, and you kind of have to rig stuff up. You don't have certain equipment. So, you know, each step of the process, the image changes just a little bit, but it's always better if you're trying to get consistent throughout way. It's always better to be consistent throughout the whole process, and, you know, have the original idea executed in mind. But like I said, in post, you kind of have a little bit free will, so you end up changing the image a little bit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the image, and